All right, should be good here in just a second. All right, looks good. How's everybody doing? Hopefully quite well. Just getting everything up and moving here. That up and moving. Slide that over. Close that. Hey, one away. Looks like a strikeout by Casey Mize. Down goes Marcy. Here's Edwards. Nice pitch there by old C. Mize. Caught him looking. You said, huh? That'll be popped up on this very first pitch by Edwards, and that'll be the second out of the inning, 1 or 2 away. Now up. Ramirez. Sorry, I couldn't read the last name very clearly. Swinging strike one. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Dun, dun, na, 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 na. Here's the that'll be a base hit. Well, that'll be booped into right center for a single. 2 out, 1 on. Hicks is up now with 1 on, 2 out. Damn. Top first, no score. Too much of the plate with 2 strikes. For a guy who's going to be up there flailing at pitches. Here's the pitch to Hicks. It's fouled away. It's 0-1. Dun dun na 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 na. But it's 0-1 here to Hicks. What's up, Charles? How's it going? Hopefully you're doing well. That'll be strike 2. 0-2 now on Hicks. Mize ahead once again. Hopefully he throws a little bit better of an 0-2 pitch here and doesn't give up another single. Hey, I appreciate the like. It helps the stream out. Gets more people in here. Hopefully everyone can do that here early on, especially if you don't feel like chatting much, which is everyone except Charles. Should have like 12 likes. What's up, Seth? Who needs to go? I wish this would go away. It just eats up like half the fucking... And that'll be a ground out there. Nice job by McGonigal. Flips it over to Torkelson. We'll head to the bottom of the first. McGonigal, Perez, Keith, Dingler. Let me restart. McGonigal, Perez, Keith, Dingler, Greene, Carpenter, Torkelson, McKinstry, and Vierling. McGonigal, Perez, and Keith to lead it off. And then the rest of the lineup. Bottom of the first coming up. No score. Walker needs to go? Oh, okay. I see, I couldn't read half of what you were saying. Gillette, the best a man can get. Hilarious stop frame on the freeze there. It's just an Asian man trying to bench press. and he's like making a crazy face. It's a very unfortunate spot to get freeze framed when you're mid bench press, because you'll never look sane. You know what I mean? You just kind of got a weird look on your face when you're bench pressing, or like at certain parts, it's probably very funny looking. If you just sort of. Either way, bottom of the first coming up soon. Hopefully we can hit today. Snapped a like 5-game losing streak yesterday, which is pretty good. Junk is pitching today, so hopefully he throws some junk today and we can hit. Get it? Because his last name is Junk. McGonigal, Perez, and Keith to lead it off against Junk. There's Juan Walker. Why don't you like Walker? Isn't he your best player? That's what everyone says. That he's better than Bryce Harper. Man, Jansen Junk has been throwing some stuff. It's a cool baseball last name, Junk. Gives up so many hits. Yeah, fair. To be honest, I thought that was a hitter, so it looks like their pitch comm isn't working right away. So a little bit of a delay here because the pitch comm wasn't working. All right, looks like it's finally going to get going. McGonigal leads it off, then Perez and Keith here in the bottom of the first. Junk getting ready, and here's the pitch. Ball one. Do-do-do-do. Here we go, Kevin. Dun, 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 dun. Here's the pitch. McGonigal laces it into the outfield. That'll get down. That could be two. That'll get into the right center gap, and the right fielder picks it up, throws it in. McGonigal's into second base standing up. We have a leadoff double on, I think, the second pitch of the game. Hell yeah, let's go. Nice lace hit. Took a ball right down the middle and smacked it right into the gap. Hit a lot of balls there. You can have a lot of doubles. Here's Wenciel Perez. Up for the injured Parker Meadows, who's down with a broken arm, concussion, and he had to get 5 stitches in his cheek. Quite the injury, and Riley Greene is not hurt at all. Don't know how that's even possible. All right, here's Perez. Ball one. Satu Salabi. Oh, nice. The women's basketball. I don't know anything about the league, really. I don't really follow basketball, so. It's 1-1 after a foul ball. Ball's up high. It's 2-1. Nice little hitters count for Perez. Maybe he can get something he can handle and serve up an early run here in the bottom of the first. Never know. Would be cool. Well, that gets up the middle of the infield, but the second baseman cut it off or the shortstop grabbed it. I couldn't see who grabbed it. However, it is enough to get the runner over to third. So we have a runner at third with just one away. So all we need now is a fly ball to take a 1-0 lead. And that would be a real good, strong start to the game. Maybe Colt Keith can be the guy who drives him in. His 360 average, looking pretty good. Sack fly would make us even better. If the Colt regard Keith, swing and a miss, cuts right through a nice first pitch. Would have smoked it if he got a hold of it. Nice to see the Tigers back in the traditional uniforms. Colt Keith took time. Was that the Sooners? It was like Keith about to hit a home run. Nope. He hits a ball right up the left field line. That'll get a run in. Tigers go up 1-0. Keith's going to take the turn at first and head to 2. He slides in. And that'll be a 1-out double by Colt Keith. So now it's 1 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Tigers rolling here early on. Hopefully Dingler can keep her going. Tigers up 1. Keith's hot start keeps going. Is Riley Greene's first home run going to be today? Ah, fuck. That'll be a ground out by Dingler over to the third baseman. Runner can't advance, so it'll be 2 down, runner at second. Probably Orioles, right? I don't know. Who won the first game? What up, Kevin? Big Kev? Giants? Oh, maybe Giants will win tonight too. Shit. 1-1. By the way, if you're just watching along, make sure you drop a like to help the stream out, especially if you're not feeling like chatting, which is basically just Seth here today and Kevin now. Yeah, you get the scoop ball game. That'll be ball 2 to Riley Greene. The Greene homer here would be pretty legendary. Nope, that'll be another base hit, though. Tigers will get a second run in. Colt Keith rounds third. He's going to score with ease. Riley Greene will stop at first base. 1 on, 2 out. Tigers go up 2 here in the bottom of the first. What a good inning. What's up, Joel? Good start to the game here for Detroit. Casey Mize has a little bit of a cushion now. Carpenter to put a blast for a little bow on the inning. That'd be pretty sweet. You stop playing WoW to watch the game? Sucks you can't do both. Yes, it's a good thing to get a break from things every so often. Oh, you have a bet on the game? Oh, fair enough. 1-0. Carp swings and misses. It's 1-1. Feeling the Carp homer. This guy seems to struggle with lefties, and Carp seems to belt on righties who can't pitch to lefties. He specifically feasts on one kind of pitcher. Righties who can't get lefties out. Or struggle with them anyway. Not really. Oh, because you're bad. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I don't know. Fucking game 16. Game 15 maybe. Crazy to think that it is only game 15. 2-1. Nobody needs anything right now except for people betting. I need the Tigers to win because I want them to win every game from here on out, but there's no needs in the MLB at 15 games in. It's all just, I hope they do this. Yeah, the ball bounced off the top of the wall. I'm surprised it didn't get robbed. Usually, ballparks are lowering fences so guys could rob balls like that. Left fielder just must have not had a good read on it. Fouled away, it's 3-2. Counts full now for Carey, Scary Carpenter. Kind of like Joe Adele's home runs that he robbed. Only that last one. Like, it's impressive that he robbed 3 home runs. You can never take that away from a guy. But those first 2 really weren't even that impressive. He just stood at the wall and jumped up. You know, we see Parker Meadows do that twice a week. It's the third one, the bow, where he jumped from in the air, caught it, and then flew into the stands like a monster. And the fact he did it 3 times in a 1-0 game. Pretty much, yeah. Money line is dumb in baseball to bet. Really, it's kind of just dumb to bet in general with baseball. Lopez, I'm never going to be able to guess this guy's last name. I'm going to say it's Casey and Norby. Lopez, Casey, and Norby do up here in the top of the second. Tigers get 2 on a couple doubles and a single. Nice job by the boys. Let's see what they do to defend the lead here in the top of the second. Let's hope for a clean inning. I mean, you can do like covers and stuff like that if you're pretty confident a team's going to win. Like if the Tigers aren't favored in a school ball star, you'd be like, well, I think they'll only lose by 2 runs. So you say the Tigers can probably cover, you know. There's stuff you can do. I don't know. Vegas is, you know, you can manipulate it a little bit. I have a system that makes me $150,000 a day betting. I can't share it with anybody because the government asked me to not do that. I'm paid by the government to not bet. I'm so good at it. Kevin knows. One time I fucked around and put $5 and won $750. Or $50, won $750. Yeah, I'm not allowed to gamble. Say I'm too powerful. I went to Vegas one time and they went bankrupt the next day. I played all their games, won them all. Never even lied one time in my life. Strike 1 to Lopez. For the Mets. I don't know. We shouldn't say things like that in April. We thought that about the Blue Jays last year. Yeah, I'd never go to them states either. I was there when NCAA told Rob he could. Yeah, when I was not allowed to do March Madness anymore. I had a perfect bracket this year. I predicted Michigan over UConn, all the upsets. And Kerry Carpenter couldn't make a play in left field. Almost a nice grab. But it results in being a leadoff double for the Marlins. Now up is Cassie. I don't know how to say this last name. That'll be first pitch popped up. That might be deep enough to get the runner over. It looks like it's going to be. Yeah, not a good throw in. I would say going to Disney World in Florida is pretty nice if you can go. I don't know about the rest of Florida. Unless you really like doing cocaine, then I'd imagine Miami's probably pretty cool. 1 on, 1 out. Or if you get really famous in content creation, I'd imagine Florida wouldn't be so bad to live in. Mostly just because of the taxes. But I think you could live in a different state and not pay income tax. I think like Vermont or some shit doesn't. And it's like, all right, I'm going to live there. Or you can just like stay in Michigan or the Midwest and be like, I'm going to just pay bullshit money here. Ball 1, buy a McMansion for $410,000. in a gated community next to the football players. Miami would be fun to go to again if you're really like into Coke. 2-0 on Norby. You love Hershey Park? Nice. If I was wealthy, I'd want to live in California. 3-0. They have perfect weather all the time. That shit sounds awesome. 75 to 80 degrees every single day and doesn't get much hotter or colder. Hot ass people. Sounds like a dream. Quite frankly, I fucking hate the cold. Kevin would live in Miami. I've been in Colorado. It can get pretty cold in some of them states. Is that strikeout? No, it's 3-2. Nice. And there's a strikeout, 2 away. Yeah, I may end up heading out to Colorado if I can get into a PhD program at the University of Denver. We'll see if I can get in though. It'll be tough. It's a very good writing school. If I can get in there, I'm gonna be very happy because then I get to move to Denver. Ball 1. I wouldn't want to live in Philly. That sounds awful. Aspen. 1-0. 2-0. And Mai's a little wild here in the second inning. See if he can reel it back in. He did start 3-0 on Norby, so, not the end of the world. Or the other one. I don't know much about Colorado. I just know of Denver. And I know of Grand Junction, which was really nice. 3-1. Grand Junction was a very nice little town in Colorado. I enjoyed it very much. That'll be popped up. That'll stay in play. Hey, they make a play on it. Tigers get out of the inning without allowing a run. Leadoff double gets stranded at third. We'll head to the top of, or bottom of the second. Bottom 2, Tigers hold on to a 2-0 lead. Nice job by the defense to make up for the leadoff double. Torkelson, McKinstry, and Vierling do up here. 7-8-9 for Detroit. Let's see if they can add to their 2-0 lead. Bottom of the second, 2-0 Tigers. Yeah, nice defense, nice pitching there to kind of rebound after a pretty rocky leadoff double. And some control issues, so nice job by Mize to kind of rebound on that. A way to get out of it. Fall behind 3-0 twice and then win both at-bats. Pretty good, pretty good. Not great, but pretty good. Arizona scored 2, but unsure if they'll score 3 till the 8th or 9th. Yeah, because Arizona is typically kind of dead until the end of the game. You know what's funny is Tigers fans having apprehension about Kenley Jansen because every time the Tigers used to play Kenley Jansen, they just beat the dog shit out of him. Like, most of his bad career numbers or anything that looks slightly elevated is solely because of like the Detroit Tigers against Kenley Jansen. So like everyone else just sees Kenley Jansen as this lights out Hall of Fame like end of game closer, whereas Tigers fans were like, really? Fucking Kenley Jansen? And he's literally been completely lights out, hasn't even like flinched. It's just like, oh, that's fair actually. Yeah, he has 478 saves, you say, huh? Third all time, you say, huh? That's pretty crazy. And that's basically just because Jansen never pitches well against Detroit. And it's very funny. He's like, I'm going to just go to Detroit now. Why? Ball one to Torkelson. Okay. Canley with a K. Two two. Man, I'm like super congested right now. I think it's because of the allergies starting to flare back up a little bit. Ugh. Tigers 5-9. I mean, if they win today, they'll be 6-9. 3 games under ain't bad. Torkelson will walk with one away. Or no, Torkelson walks to lead off the inning. I don't know what I saw as the first out. I'm just imagining things. No, 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 no. Nah, Twins aren't good. They had a good run against the Tigers. I guess they beat Toronto, but Toronto hasn't really been that good this year either. I don't know. They started off miserably bad, and they've been on a tear the last week, though. We'll see if they can keep her up. But they can't hit very well. Like all their hitting is pretty bad numbers wise. Ball 2-1. Shut the fuck. No, just kidding, Seth. I just become really mean to Seth. I just go, shut up, Seth. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. I'm gonna follow you around in a blue car. Every blue car you see might just stop and fight you. By the way, it's 2-2. And then, once you've given up that that's actually gonna happen, that's when I'll get you, Seth. Just for some reason, just turn on Seth. McKinstry's up, and that'll be a ground ball. That'll be a double play. Shortstop just has to pick it up, touch second base, and fires over to first. 2 down. Here's Vierling with 2 away. Seth, you couldn't take me, dude. I'd be like Kane, and you'd be like Rey Mysterio, just or James Ellsworth. Every guy with 2 hands has a fighting chance. Double plays are a pitcher's best friend. You get 2 outs for the price of 1. And erase a mistake you made to the last hitter. It's quite a feeling. One, 2 on Vierling. It also erases the mistake you made of giving a base or putting a base runner on, is what a double play does. So it's your defense bailing you out big time, really. Changes the complexity of an inning all really quickly all of a sudden. You go from a guy on with no outs or one out to the inning potentially maybe being over, or there's 2 outs now and there's nobody on. Hey, thank you, Seth, for the 14 likes. You're 5'6". Seth, I'm 7.5 foot tall. Seth, this is a 3-liter bottle. Like one of them 3-liter bottles. I'm a big dude. Let's see if I have any other comically. Oh, that's a ground ball, and that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. Let's head to the top of the 3rd. Tigers get a man on, but a double play erases the inning effectively. Hernandez, Marcy, and Edwards. You're taller than your sister? Well, you probably should be. This is a 75-ounce cup. I'm a big man. Look how long my arms are. I'm touching the window right there. Yeah. And it looks super small in my hand. Called perspective. 7.5 foot tall. Star. I've never lied in my entire life, by the way. I actually don't even know how to lie. Here, watch me try to lie. Sorry. I get a little sick if I try. I get no bitch. See, I can't even do it. I get no bitch. Yeah, I'm taller than Shaq. I call him little bro. Whenever I hang out with Shaq at the tall guy convention, I just put my arm on him and go, "What's up, little bro?" Yeah, I can't. I retch. I basically have clockwork. I have Alex Delange syndrome. Or whatever that guy's name was. I forget. You watch. If I tell the truth, I get bitches. You know, nothing. No problem lying. Because I'm not lying. Can't even physically lie. So. Well, I didn't even need treatment. I was just born with the ability to not lie, or the inability to lie. I 2-0 now to Hernandez. Hernandez Mears. I can't, it's too tall. They're too small. And the second baseman unable to make a play. McKinstry fucks it up. Runner at first, one away. Would have been a tough play anyway. What is this last name? Oh, Marcy. Okay. Marcy's up now with 1 on and nobody out here. Top of the order for the Marlins. They're looking to try to bring this game within a couple. 2-0 Tigers. I guess cut the lead in half really with the run. Either way, fouled off 0-1. Yeah. Didn't Kubrick make Clockwork Orange? Somebody like that? Stanley Kubrick or one of them weird directors that's like Stanley Kubrick, but just the other guy. Marquise Bell was arrested for weed. No, I don't really care. Not a big deal. NFL won't care. NBA won't care. Yeah. Steven Spielberg is the other one I always think of sometimes. I'm like, there's another like old guy who makes good movies like that. You know, Spielberg or Kubrick filmed the moon landing. And when Artemis 2 just flew over it, they saw his film set. Isn't that crazy? A guy who doesn't know the conspiracy at all. Guy who thinks that whichever one Kubrick filmed the moon landing. Yeah, he filmed the moon landing. He went to space. Liberals didn't want you to know that. It's like, no, that's not the conspiracy. Oh, well, what's the conspiracy then? Hey, that'll be a strikeout, one away. Strike one. Oh, yeah. Oh, swing and a miss though to start off the at bat. 0-1 or a called strike rather. I don't know. I just saw him taking practice swings and went, damn, what a crazy late swing. 0-1. No, I'm pretty sure that that new Artemis 2, I think they got some pictures of the former moon landing spot. Pretty cool. Runner goes, that's going to be a ball and kind of a high throw. Runner gets the base. Lopez or Hernandez. Hernandez too quick. The Grinch is your favorite Hollywood movie. It's a good movie. Catchers, I don't know. They're still throwing out like 40% of runners, roughly, anywhere from like 35 to 45, which is almost every other runner. Guys are finally starting to master the art of base running again a little bit, though, which is nice. And didn't they make the bases a little larger? Did that change actually go through? If so, that would explain why people are safe a lot more often now. Yeah, they had to go pick up Kubrick. They left him at the moon on accident. He's been in a pissy ass mood for a while. At first, he's like, yeah, leave me here. Fuck it. How you gonna make movies? I don't give a fuck. He just hasn't aged, so now we're about to get some crazy movies like I Lived on the Moon. Ooh. 0-1 here on Ramirez, runner at third, 2 away. Tigers trying to tightrope out of another, runner at second situation. D-back Seth momming? Damn. Diamondbacks only play. Yeah, Diamondbacks have to try to come back to win. That's their MO. They want comebacks or nothing. They like to struggle. 2-2. Come on, let's get out of here. And he swings through it. That'll be strike 3. Nice job by Casey Mize. Strand another man at third. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Tigers holding on 2-0. Top of the order for Detroit, 2 up. 1-2-3. That's McGonigal, Perez, and Keith. Let's see if we can't manufacture or get some more runs in. 2-0 Tigers. Bottom of the third coming. All right, I'm gonna go get some more sody pop. Oh, my throat's real dry. I've been eating too much pussy. You can't throw underhand. Why? Throwing underhand's easy. It's a natural motion. You just kind of got to time when to let go better. Just I believe that's why softball pitchers can pitch in back-to-back games. Because there isn't really too much natural strain on the body to do that over and over again. If I'm not mistaken, in college softball, a pitcher can pitch in back-to-back games, right? And there really isn't like a pitch limit in game for them. So like if they wanted to, a team, if they have like the best pitcher, that girl can pitch like game 1, game 2, and game 3 of a series, and that's just how it goes. And if she pitches like 2 no hitters and then one game they lose 1-0, it's like, well, she pitched, she only gave up 1 run. Threw like 200 pitches each game. It was fine. Dominated. Phillies up 4-2. Nice. 1-2 count here on McGonigal. Ball up high. 2-2. Counts evened up here for KM. For K-Mec. K-Mick. Here's the deuce. Inside ball 3. Harper homer. Sheesh. I could strike out Bryce Harper. Three fastballs. He wouldn't even know what hit him. Fastball down and away, up and in, down and away. Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. Oh, if you go, I go out there and act like I'm a little slow. Hi, Bryce. I'm a big fan. I would can I strike you out? Breathe really hard through my mouth. Yeah, 100%. He's gonna let me strike him out, and then I'll put it on my thing. I struck out Bryce Harper, and I'll edit out all the context. 2-0 on Perez. Okay. Plus, if he thinks I'm like I'm a kind of an off guy, he might just let me do it anyway. Where if he homers off me, then I start fake crying. Then they let me do a strikeout. Yay! Nice, Seth. That's always good. Words are a good thing. It's 3-1 here on Perez. One on, nobody out. That'll be called strike 2. It's 3-2. Glad they didn't challenge that because that would have been called a strike. That's a pop out. Foul territory, first baseman camping underneath it, and he squeezes it one away. Colton Keith up with one on and one out. We're in the bottom of the third. Tigers lead 2-0. Ugh. Strike one. How did the stream get behind? It was literally almost synced up a second ago. By the way, it's 0-2. Dun dun dun. Dun. Here's the 0-2. Oh, that's strike 3. And they're going to challenge that and most likely win that. So Keith will go down on strikes looking at 2 away. Like a strike all day to me. Yeah. Pretty soon, umpires are going to be pretty Pavlovian about where the strike zone actually is. And ABS won't be super necessary. At least the good umpires will figure it out. Even I, like, just watching where the ball lines in, I already kind of know where the strike zone is. But seeing how it works, it's like, no, that's a strike. That's a strike. That's a ball. That'll be a foul ball. Wait, what's going on? Oh, they're calling catcher interference? I hit over like 59 homers in your first career in baseball. Nice, Seth. On like MLB The Show. Oh, yeah, his glove was right there. That is straight up catcher interference. So now it's first and second with 2 away. You can see the mitt move and everything. Damn, that's unfortunate for Ramirez. Got to back up a little bit. When I used to catch, I stood very close to the fucking hitter for some reason. Like an absolute psychopath. This is the second time he's done that with Dingler. It's 1-2 on Riley Greene. Big hit or homer here would be cool. By the way, it's 1-2. Still. Ugh. Another foul ball. We'll get another 1-2 from old Riley Greene. Shortstop, center field, catcher, first baseman. Probably most vital. Oh, that'll be a pass ball. Runners will get to second and third. Base hits worth 2. I'd also say in the majors, right field is very important. You're a right fielder. The higher level of baseball you get to, right field becomes critically important as an outfield position. Generally, you'll have your best hitting outfielders usually in right field. Strongest arm will typically be in right field. Probably the better overall fielder than the center fielder. Center fielder is just fast as dog shit usually. And then second fastest guy on the team is usually going to be a shortstop. Bob will have another 2-2. And that's pretty much like almost per rule how that goes. If your right fielder was like a little bit better at something, they'd be the best player on the team by quite a bit. Historically, it has some of the greatest position players ever to go in that position group. Shortstop is probably the second best or best player on the team usually. They're supposed to be anyway. Like defensive player, they're usually very good at hitting. Man, a little battle here for Riley Greene. 10th pitch of the at-bat. Oh, and it's a home run. Hell yeah, finally. Way back into right field. It's a 3-run shot for Riley Greene. He breaks his home run cherry on the season, and that's number 1, and it flies into the seats of right field. Riley Greene, 3-run shot. Tigers up 5. We wanted 2 of them. How about we get 3 of them? Tigers up 5. You can tell that one was that he wanted that one too. You can see the look at like the way he was like. You could genuinely you could see a weight was just lifted off that guy's shoulders. Boy, oh boy, did he want that home run. And he smoked that fucking ball too. Fouls it. Well, yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course they need to play the rest of the game. It's the bottom of the third. 1-1 count on Carp. Marlins have been one of the best offenses in baseball. Got to play. Carp smokes the ball down into the right field corner. That's going to go off the right field wall into the right fielder's glove. He fires it into the cutoff man, and Kerry Carpenter has his first double of the year. Just as Riley Greene hits his first homer, we get Kerry Carpenter's first double. And you know what? Now is as good a time of any for old Spenny two bats to hit a home run. You mean Junk? Oh, Jansen Junk. Why not call him Junk? He's pitching some junk today. He's been good this year, too. His numbers are actually strong. I'm guessing he doesn't pitch well off lefties, and Detroit loaded the lineup with them. See, how many lefties do we got? Let's see. Dingler's righty. Torque is a righty. And we got 3 righties in the lineup. This guy must not be able to pitch to lefties. And then on the other side, with Detroit's hitters, none of these left-handed hitters, or these lefty hitters specifically hit guys who cannot pitch to left-handed hitters. It's like they're special. It's like the only thing that they all consistently just smoke the shit out of, except for like Torque. Righties kind of get him a little bit, but you know. He's right-handed, so it's expected. Ball 1. The Torque big fly here would be pretty big. Strike 1. Is Don Kelly the manager of the Marlins still? Part of the problem here, once again, I think in a series where it's a little bit of an interesting matchup for the Tigers, I do think coaching's going to play a big advantage as far as just like simple matchups go. Like if it's a very bad mismatch between coaches, I think the Tigers could kind of just dominate that way. Thompson. I don't know who the Reds playing. 2-2 here on Torque. Tigers get 3 here in the inning on a 3-run shot by Mr. Greene, his first of the year. And that'll be all the inning gets, though. We'll head to the top of the 4th. Once again, the Tigers get the lead out to 5 now on a 3-run homer by Riley Greene, his first of the season. Nice to see it. Hicks, Lopez, Casey. I don't know how to say his last name. Hicks, Lopez, Casey. Let's see if Mize can. Do you like what I did there? I went Casey. Mize. Hopefully he can pitch well here. Kind of a clever play on words. I know. I'm a pretty smart guy. I get it. It's like intimidating to be around me a little bit because I'm so smart. You had surgery on your nose? Oof. Yeah, I'd imagine it's no good. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit better. Are you just raw dogging the pain? I'd imagine so. It's the way to go. Or have you taken some of the medications? I've heard that if you take a couple ibuprofen and a Tylenol at the same time, it's very, very helpful. That will take care of the pain. I can't use opiates because I'm deathly allergic, so I have to raw dog every single thing I've ever done surgically or injury wise. And it sucks. I like ibuprofen for pain a little bit more than Tylenol personally, just because ibuprofen is a little bit less damaging on the kidney. Yeah, it sucks because you breathe through it. On Thursday. All right, hell yes. Hopefully, I don't know. I think once you adjust, you'll be all right. It's the adjusting to the pain, which sucks. You got to focus on literally anything else. Easier said than done, but again, A really good way to deal with pain is to literally just focus on any other thing. But again, it's really hard to do that. So ball one. Turning back, me too. Yeah, it's been a rough start, Aerosol, but yeah. I don't think we've been bad enough to where I need to panic yet. Jaw surgery is probably the most pain. Yeah, I'd imagine. I heard that sucks. Spinal tap, yeah, because they gotta like dig into your fucking body. Giant gauge. Damn, leadoff single. Marlins been getting the leadoff guy on. I feel like quite often, or at least a guy on with 2 out or 1 out. Maybe we can get a double play here. Oh no, it's a shortstop up. Yeah, I don't like guys. It's like I don't know. Like if we were like a 3-win team and we've been shot, like you know what I mean. It's like I don't know. I've seen flashes of this team looking absolutely brilliant. So I genuinely just don't care. And I don't even mean to be like rude and blunt. You know what? I'm just like I don't think there's a problem with this team. We'll be fine as the season. I'm more confident in this team right now than I was the team last year that was far better than them. Shit, that's a problem. That'll be a double. Well, Mize is doing his best to get rid of the lead here. Mize smiling for some reason. He lifts up his shirt and reveals a Miami Marlins jersey again. That's what the black shirt is. He's wearing a Marlins Under Armour. Well, I've done this exact joke. Kevin, Kevin, have I done that joke? I feel like the last time we played the Marlins and I streamed, Casey Mize got smoked. No, it was the Yankees, right? It's the Yankees. That's right. He's a secret Yankees fan. It's either that or it was the Marlins. I feel like I've done that joke before. Surgery sucks in general. Yeah, it sucks. It never feels good. I don't know. I think once the season progresses, we'll be fine. Last year, I feel like we spent all our energy to win the first half of the season and then sucked for the majority of the second half because we were too tired to win. And that's a real thing, by the way. There is something called like playing baseball correctly. And I think it's good that that happened to a very young team, by the way, because now they understand why the Guardians were so much stronger than they were in September. It's like the Guardians treaded water till July. They knew what they were doing. They decided they're like, well, we don't have to really just stay like 500-ish until July and then fucking go hard. And that works often. Everyone is focused gambling, and the one guy said he sold his tickets to today's game. Good. I don't care if gamblers are upset. It means absolutely nothing when gamblers complain about sports to me. I think it's funny. My favorite is when they call them rigged. Every time when someone tells me sports are rigged, they follow it up with, I ask them if they gamble, and 100 or it's like 95% of the time they're like, yeah, what's that mean? What's that matter? And it's like, oh, I wonder why you think it's rigged. How are your bets going? Not good. And it's like, oh no, they never say not good. They go with my favorite response to that question. I never lose bets. I'm just saying it's rigged. It's like, oh no, you just got found out and you've never been called out for your horse shit like this before. Because I don't care. Sports you have to present me with evidence that the sports are rigged. Other than the NBA, I believe the NBA is a fake, or I believe the NBA is only slightly more real than professional wrestling. Because they keep getting caught. It's just like, all right, at some point, it's like, it's like the entire refereeing system in basketball has been indicted at some point. McKinstry, Veerling, and McGonigal. McKinstry, Veerling, McGonigal, bottom of the fourth. Tigers do give up a run there, but hey, they leave it to just one, so good job there. 5-1. Tigers lead by 4. Like, at least Lions fan, like, you know what's crazy? Lions fans don't even say like the league is rigged because they fucked us, because they would also have to contend that the Lions as an organization have gone, yeah, we'll just let this happen for 100 years. Like, that's always been my strongest counter argument, I think, also, is like, why did the bad teams agree to be so bad for so long? If I was a bad team in a rigged league, I'd be like, every like 15 years, let me win a title. Um, Also, if like the NFL is rigged, I have to genuinely ask you guys something. Do you guys think the team that they want to put in Manhattan, the New York Jets, would be the worst team in football over the past like 70 years? Would they just have one Super Bowl title, like the second or third one 4,000-yard passer, and that's it? That's all the Jets have in their entire history? Really stop and think about that. The Jets are like New York's, like they're bigger than the Giants are, in my opinion. They should be. Half of the league office played for the Jets. Just like, dog, the Jets would be the greatest. Like, the Lions would have more than one Super Bowl by now. There wouldn't be any winless teams in the Super Bowl. Peyton Manning would have had more of the career that we saw Tom Brady have. If the league was rigged, they wouldn't have played out. Aaron Rodgers would have more than one Super Bowl appearance. Dan Marino would have won a Super Bowl. Like, Phillip Rivers would have won a Super Bowl. Come on, let's be very honest about like the NFL at the very least. That'll be a pop out basically on the first pitch. McKinstry's down, one away. You know what I mean? Like, like there are so many things that don't functionally, like, why in the world would Tom Brady be the guy they just decide to just build an empire around? It's just like, what do you mean? It's like, I don't know, a guy who can't jump, can't run, can't barely play the sport is just a pretty good throw. He doesn't even throw the ball the best. He's just super accurate and pretty likable and a pretty humble guy. Like that, like that's like Peyton Manning could just can rifle it down the field. You have Brett Favre, you have Phillip Rivers, Big Ben, all these other far more like alluring athletes, but like they build it around Tom Brady. Just like, yeah, I don't know, guys, that seems like a bit of a stretch. Another way you could tell is they never. Tom was the face of the league for about 1 year, before the year between Tom's comeback win against the Falcons and Mahomes becoming a superstar. That was the only. Oh, and he dropped it. Damn, the first baseman had an easy pop out. Yeah, but he doesn't have answers to anything I just said, nor be unable to make a play. That'll be an error on the Marlins too. It's when someone can answer me those questions about why the NFL did what they did and how they get away with what they get away with, or in any of these teams' cases, like, why in the world would the Cubs agree to a 115-year losing streak? Like, yeah, we're fine with just not winning for 100 years and always losing in the World Series. Why would the Tigers have agreed to like 2003? Detroit, you're going to lose 119 games. All right. It's just like, do we get the World Series? Nope. You're going to have your heart broken in '06 and 2012, and then you're going to lose 120 games in 2020 or something like that. And will we get a World Series? No, you'll have very heartbreaking playoff runs, and yeah, you can go fuck yourselves. It's like, yeah, they just agree to that. All right. What's the Kansas City Royals just agree to their like permanent fucking dog shit franchise? The Pirates are like, can we spend more money? The MLB's like, no. It's just like, you have to be below average and shitty. The Marlins just trade all their great players. That's the only thing that seems rigged, is the Marlins just shedding their roster every couple years. And then you're like, well, that's just actually because the owner's dog shit cheap. 0-2 here on McGonagall. I don't know. I wish there was better. Like, I wish there was answers to these questions because people just go, yeah, but like, come on. And it's like that's the only evidence you get is like, just seems awful suspicious that a team leading would lose a game suddenly. Guy who doesn't ever play sports and just gambles them. There was a team up 3-0 after 2 innings, and then in the bottom of the 9th, the other team won 3-2. How is that possible? The other team blew it. They were leading the whole game, 2-0. Then they walk 2 guys, and the closer gives up a home run. That's like impossible. Actually, that's called a blown save. That happens like every, I don't know, like 10 or so. Most closers go about 10, 11 saves before they blow one. No. That's not how that works, dude. No, because they couldn't hit all game, then suddenly they could. Yeah, that happens in the 9th inning sometimes, especially it's just like, just how she goes. Sometimes the closer just don't got it, you know? Sometimes they don't pitch a lot. Seems awful convenient. I fucking hate people like that, dude. How come they just started hitting suddenly? Well, the pitcher that was pitching well against them got taken out, and then they brought in why'd they take him out? He was at 100 pitches. So? Can they put him back in? Is he coming back in? That'll happen all the time, by the way. Someone who has no idea what baseball is, but they have a lot of money on it, on like an over on strikeouts for like Scooball. And someone will come in and be like, Scooball pitching, ? In like the 9th inning. And it's like, no, it's like the 7th inning. He got taken out last half inning. They're like, oh, is there a shot that he comes back in and gets like the 7th or 8th strikeout? And every time somebody says that, I tell them they should probably not bet baseball if they don't understand the rules of it. And then come in here and try to tell me that the sport is rigged because they keep losing their fucking bets and they don't understand how the sport works. So they think they're like getting fucked. And it's like, you just don't know how the sport works. You just don't understand the basic rules of the game. Brother, it's like, I had the under on strikeouts, then someone foul tipped it and they counted it as a strikeout. What kind of rigged shit is this? And it's like, that's a strikeout. No, it said foul tip. He hit it. How is it a strikeout? I have to explain the rules. That's a bullshit rule. Why is that a rule? Well, it's been the rule since the inception of the game. It's just like, you know, we just don't care about gamblers. There's a good shot they do, but like I always wonder and worry for teams about the prominence of too many games in a short amount of time. Am I rooting for a three-peat? Somewhat. I love history. I root for greatness, and I wouldn't be too bummed out if Dodgers three-peated. But much like with the Chiefs and their three-peat quest and them like kind of falling to injury through the season and not being able to do it, it's very hard to win 3 in a row. And not because they're like suddenly not talented. Have a good one, Kevin. Have a good time at work, bud. And it's not because like the Dodgers are 100% good enough to win 3 in a row and keep winning them. The issue always lies in, have they played too many extra games compared to everybody else? They get about a month less recoup time than about everyone else every year so far, for about 2, 3, 4 years now, because they're always in the end, right? So baseball has long enough of an off season compared to football where it's not as big a problem. Ball 1. But because, you know, baseball, but a lot of these guys just don't really care about, they don't really need the time off. But I do wonder if the longevity of the runs in the seasons really make it harder. And that's across all sports. It's very hard to win 3 in a row. Yeah, Lakers, Bulls did it. I think the Warriors fell short because everyone started getting hurt. It is the biggest problem with sustaining a dynasty, winning 3 and 5. That's why dynasties are 3 and 5, because it's almost impossible to win 3 in a row. Like the Dodgers are a dynasty, right? Because they've won 3 titles inside of 5 years. Last year was actually the last year they could have gotten a dynasty with their COVID ring. Otherwise, it would have restarted to their second ring. So they are a technical dynasty. That'll be ball 4. 1 on, nobody out to start the 5th. Top of the order, Marcy. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Tigers up 4. It's 5-1, top 5. 1 on, nobody out. Here's the pitch to Marcy. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Mine's at about 59 pitches right now. Not a bad spot to be through 4 innings. Hopefully we can get 6 quality start innings out of him. He's at 5 Ks too, which is quite a good amount for old Casey Mize. That's 5 C's in the name. That's Casey. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. Rifle it down to second. That's 1 and not in time. Yeah, not in time. They'll get the lead runner at second, so that's the most important one. Marcy will be at first with 1 away. They might have actually gotten him at first. I'd like to see a replay on that. Because, boy, was that close. Great job by Torque. Yeah, he's safe. Okay. Yeah, if they can't come to some kind of agreement. And it really doesn't kind of sound like they're going to come to one. 1 on, 1 out. Runner at first. Sounds like Chris Fetter might have came out to the mound, or the catcher did. Yeah, it was a catcher meeting. Dingler went out to talk to Casey about something. Edwards is up. I think they're considering that the runner might try to run. Or the guy on first might try to run. I know runner runs, right? If they strike, yeah, they won't play next year until they get it resolved. I think there's the issue of I think owners want a salary cap. Or like some do, and players don't. And they're kind of at a standstill on this. Personally, I think the impact. I think what's going to resolve it is there's going to be a very high soft cap put into place, like $500 million payrolls, and there's going to be a salary floor of $100 million put into place, because that's probably the compromise. Is going to have to be, if they get a salary cap, then there's going to have to be a salary minimum, and that's just kind of how it's gonna have to go. I mean, the Dodgers broke the sport. They're gonna have to put one in. Probably football. Football's got a salary cap, but does hockey have a salary minimum? Because that would be idea. They need a salary floor too. Teams like Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Miami can't keep getting away with spending $50 million a year on their fucking rosters, and expect the players to take like a cut. Like, that's horseshit. They shouldn't be able to get cheaper. So, like, the players are righteous here too, in that they shouldn't have to have a salary cap if there isn't a minimum that teams have to spend. If there's a maximum, there should be a minimum, and that's the correct stance to take on this. The players are 100% in the right here. Perez, Keith, and Dingler. Again, the owners are also right in that there probably should be a salary cap, or else the game is broken. The richest owners can just keep doing this, and it's a bit of a problem. However, like all of these owners can afford a minimum of $100 million on the roster. Like not a single one of these people, these billionaires, can afford to spend $100 million. Basically, just operating off of like the money they make throughout the year. So it should probably be like 120 minimum if they want to introduce any kind of salary cap. And then I think everybody can come to sort of an agreement that like both of those things can work together. That'll ease the anxiety around players getting cheaped out on. And I'm guessing it'll ease the owners. It'll give the owners the salary cap that they want. Yeah, I don't really care what people on. I don't know. Private equity has nothing to do with the impending baseball lockout. It's a very clear contract dispute about salary cap and salary minimum. Anyone trying to make it anything different is I think that's like the literal standstill issue is that one thing. Other people trying to make it about something silly, it's don't know what they're talking about. And neither side wants either thing, by the way. Like the owners don't want a salary floor and the players don't want a salary cap. You know, two sides of the same coin, right? Well, both sides are bad. 2-0 here on Perez. I'm both sidesing this. So I, the enlightened centrist, come out on top. By the way, if you haven't dropped a like yet, consider doing so. It does help out our little stream here. It gets more people in. Helps us do better. Yeah, EA sucks. I mean, it just got worse. EA Sports. Kill Jamal Khashoggi and chop him up in the consulate. Khashoggi, sorry. EA Sports. Suppress women. Oppress women. Welcome to EA Sports WNBA edition. Every one of the women wear burqas. If they don't, there's a beheading mode. You can throw rocks at them. We have special storyline where if your child is homo, we push them off building. Fucking awful people to do business with. The people of Saudi Arabia are just fine, by the way. It's their evil government. That's the issue. I know people from Arabia. They're genuinely great people. They're very kind, very welcoming, very warm people. Really not too dissimilar from Americans, to be very, very honest with you. Especially like the more like religious Americans. It's the kingdom of Saw. That's an issue. EA Sports. I guess it's okay. Women can drive now. Yeah. Just that Royal Kingdom is wild. I guess they're getting a little bit better. A little bit. They're still pretty wicked. They're getting a little better. Now that What's the crown prince's name? Mohammed bin Salabin or something like that. I genuinely don't know his name. MBS or something like that. He's a little bit progressive as far as like that family's concerned. So progress is progress. You got to be happy with it. It would be so funny if like we're talking all this shit and EA just goes back to high quality Madden games. Oh damn. Yeah, that's a lot of money to loan someone. 1-1 count here with 2 out. Nobody on in the bottom of the 5th. It's a 5-1 Tigers lead. They buy it and we get like 06 level, like Madden 06 level quality Madden again. Like, what the fuck? Actually, all right, it's not so bad, actually. Yeah, they just like all the games go back to kicking ass all of a sudden. We're like, all right, well, that actually kind of rules now. Thank you, Saudi Arabia, for the cool games again. The games are like hyper realistic too. They just fucking rule. Did he? Oh, wow, what a play by the. What a lucky fucking break for the. That ball went off his glove and landed like 2 feet in front of him. What a lucky break for the pitcher. It literally like bounced off his glove and went like inches in front of him. So he was able to recover it and get it over to first for the final out. What a lucky play. EA Sports used to be the shit, dude. Or EA as a company. There's a reason they took over. The Sims were awesome. They barely made bad games, which is crazy to think about. Like as a company, like if EA was on it, it was like, oh, this is gonna be a good ass game. I still remember when they like started making it so your actual last name came through on the Madden games. If it was like one of the pre-programmed ones that were in there, it was like, ooh. And I had a normal. I have a pretty common or pretty not uncommon, but common enough last name. Where it's definitely, but like it's 100% a name that's in the NFL. So it's like, oh hell yeah. Do you guys ever get stoked when you see your own last name in professional sports and you're just like, ooh, look at that, there I am, balling out. Wonder what would that's what it would look like if that was me out there. That's crazy. People spell it with 2 Z's. It's Kizzy. Oh yeah, you probably don't see that a lot in the. You don't really see that in sports a lot. I don't share my last name online. Yeah, most sports games except baseball are EA. EA won the sports game market. Again, they were high quality. The only company that competed with EA was Tiburon Sports, or however the fuck you say that. And then they just decided to work with EA anyway. And because they make college football, EA's just like, we'll just let them do their own thing. We don't really give a fuck. It's theirs. I'm pretty sure Tiburon Sports still makes college football. They just kind of make it in conjunction with EA. Hicks with the 2-1 count. You just delete your last name. It's too late. I know your social security number, your birthday, all your bank account information. I know pretty much everything about you now, man. Ask me a question. I bet you I know the answer. I bet you're too afraid to figure out if I do know the answer, so you won't even do it. I know human behavior too well as a board certified psychologist. You had a Frankenmoose stalk me from shaking mouth on your home years on my home phone years ago when I was playing video games. Yeah, people are crazy. That's why I don't. I try to not interact with people on the internet when I game, or if I do so in a way that it doesn't. It hopefully doesn't cause me issues. Meanwhile, I yell at people on the internet quite a bit here. Oh, McGonagall has an error. Pulls Torque off the bag. Not the best throw by old Mr. McGonagall. Gotta hone that in a little bit there. Yeah, Matt, they got lazy. The issue is you can never effectively where everything got messed up, one on, one out, and the first pitch will be popped up. Well, it's actually a fly ball. Never mind. Should be a play. Nice job by the right fielder. Runner's gonna have to go back to first. 2 down. Runner's at first now. Good job by Mize. He's at 7. He's actually in pretty good pitch shape. He could probably go the 7th inning too. I don't really, unless he finishes with an ungodly amount of pitches this inning. Yeah, you probably don't. Yeah, you should never give people your number. Yep. That's a foul ball. Pretty sure that's a foul ball. Is that not? No, they're gonna call it fair. And give him runs. Hold on a minute. What the fuck? How is that? First of all, not foul. Second of all, how the fuck is that not considered lost? Like that best, it should be a double with runner at third. At worst, like that should be a foul. Oh, they're just gonna let it play? Well, what the fuck? Where did it land? Oh, it is fair. Okay, never mind. Pretty sure that's a ground rule double, though. Yeah, it is a ground rule double, so it's second and third. All right, that is a fair ball. I thought I saw it clearly hit on the other side of the line. That's my fault. Yeah. No, that's probably not a good idea. Looks like they're gonna go get a replacement for Casey Mize, making it. Ah. Well, they're gonna go get a lefty. At least you gotta hope they're going to get a lefty and not some piece of shit coming in. Well, hopefully they can get the third out of the inning here. An unfortunate break. Had that been caught, that would be oh, Drew Anderson. The fuck they bringing in Drew Anderson, a righty? Why would you just not leave in Casey Mize? Ooh, this is not a good idea. It's about to be 5-3. Maybe 5-4. NFL draft coming soon? Yeah. Couple weeks. Well, like April, end of April, right? April 28th or some shit. April 27th. Somewhere in that range. Could even be April 25th to 27th. I don't really care about the draft again this year because my team picks fucking 31st. Right back to where I'm used to being. It's nice to not care about the draft again. It's always really nice to not give a shit about the draft. Knowing my team could very well just end up trading their first rounder anyway. Well, the Tigers bring in Drew Anderson to get a sure out. I don't really know why they did this, but we'll see. Seems like a bad idea. Your team picks 23, the Eagles. Nice. That's a good pick. It's a tradable pick, too. Ball one. Strike two. All right. Or strike one, rather. They have line shafting and no line. Yeah, that would make sense. They're like losing. They need more offensive linemen. I'd argue their single biggest issue last year for offense anyway. Slow ground ball. That'll be foul. 0-2 or 1-2. Paulie is the hitter, by the way. Come on, Drew. One good pitch. You the pitch you developed in North Korea. Lions had an issue scoring in the red zone last year. I believe they were among one of the worst teams in the NFL. And that would be a problem in a lot of games against like Minnesota, Chicago. Like there are several games where them not being able to score inside of the red zone, even when they would get like 500 yards of offense that game, they'd lose like 31-28. And it's just like, well, if they'd scored 3 more times like they should have, they'd have blown everybody to smithereens last year. I know Grady Sizemore is coaching somewhere in some way. Greene, Carpenter, and Torkelson. They get Paulie to ground out. Nice job by Anderson. He comes in and gets the job done. Very good work. Tigers maintain a 5-1 lead. Bottom of the 6th. Greene, Carp, and Torque. Greene, Carp, Torque. Bottom 6. Coming up. Successive players in red zone are very determinate by the offensive line, and the Lions didn't have a good line last year, and that's why they didn't score a lot inside the red zone. Yeah, I mean, doesn't necessarily mean he's going to end up coaching there. But Stay Grady did really. King will come into pitch now for the. John King is into pitch now for the Marlins. But even if Grady really desperately wanted to coach the Guardians, the odds of Cleveland firing Stephen Vogt in the next 5 years are pretty low, right? What's up, D? In fantasy football, I won 2 of the 3 leagues. They were my first ever wins in fantasy football. My second. Well, I won 2 of 3. I think my first ever win was last year, and I won 2 of them this year. So if you're a young coach like Grady and you eventually want to be a head coach in the next couple years, going and hooking yourself into Cleveland would be a terrible idea. They're not firing that guy for a minute. You either want to go to a bad organization and kind of link yourself in there with a coach that's kind of on the hot seat, or you go to a place with an old coach and kind of like work your way up and blah, 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 blah. There's like passing ways to become a head coach. Or just, if he just was on staff and is like a really good staff member for Stephen Vogt, eventually get the call to go somewhere else. That could happen. Yeah, hopefully they can keep it going. 1-1. Riley Greene hit a 3-run homer, just tried to hit his second homer of the game, but it's fouled away. It's 1-2. Yeah, Mize had a great one. 5 2/3. 1 run, 6 hits, 6 Ks. Yeah, Greene had a pretty good moonshot too. It was a 3-run homer. Much needed. Gave us this nice 5-1 lead. He hit a 5-run home run. He hit a grand slam. It went so far. Apparently, it triggered some ancient rule that if a ball travels over 620 feet in the air as a home run, they're talking about it right now as a graphic on the screen. If you can't see it, you don't know what I'm talking about. But he hit the grand slam, and because it went 631 feet roughly, they had to award Detroit a 5th run. You don't have to look up the rule; you could just believe me. And Kerry Carpenter gets hit. 1 on, 2, 1 out. How's it going though, Josh? Nice to see you. Damn, Detroit didn't score all their runs in the same inning. It makes it really hard to lie. Yeah, it's John King. Is that where it used to be? I recognize the name anyway. No, I didn't see he hit 3 home runs. 22 likes. That's really good, Dakota. Or Mako. Someone made your day. Why did someone make your day? We have 24 likes, actually, if you refresh. Doing pretty good. If you haven't dropped one yet, consider doing so. It's 1-1 here to Torkelson with 1 on and 1 out. A lefty pitcher here, so maybe Torque can jump him and get his first of the year. Huh? That'd be pretty cool. Ball 2. 2-1 on Torque. Now good hitters count to be. Most likely they pitch around him to get after McKinstry. McKinstry. Get it? Kind of like when you say like you're him, or you say one of your buddies are him. You go, but it's like, and McKinstry is his name, so it's like McHimstry. Oh yeah, man, that's always a good feeling when you get a nice compliment. Oh yeah. I only get objectified by people. Oh, you have a nice beard. You have a nice smile. And shut up, bitch. I'm just trying to get my Cheetos. I don't need to be sexually objectified by every woman I see in a gas station. Not a piece of meat. Here's the pitch, ball 1. Ooh, that was a pretty wild pitch. Good block by the catcher. Nice. It sounds like it sounds like you were just being quite helpful and really helped her day out too. Good interactions are fun. They make you feel good. Yeah, sounds like it. Sounds like you made her day pretty good. Sounds like she made your day pretty good. Everybody left that interaction a winner. 1-1 count on McKimstry. D-backs are so bad. Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing. We got beat up on by them. Doesn't bode well for the old self-esteem. Oh yeah, Josh. And that'll be a strikeout. McKinstry goes down. 2 away. 2 on, 2 out. Here comes Matty V. Matty V. Matty V. Matty V. Actually, got to check something really fast. Need to be more vigilant about doing this. Okay, that's a lot better than I thought. We're doing good. Da, 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 da. Oh, I want to be in that number. All right. What do we got? 1-1 count. 1-1 count here on Mediv. Matty P or Matty V is actually the son of Matty P. They have the same first name, Matty. Yep, he is Matt Patricia's son. The greatest reach I have yet. Bet you didn't know that. Little trivia for you. That's not how. What? No, the Sweeney one's funny, just like the Carpenter one. It's the only reason it's bad is because everybody likes to make the joke, and I think it's funny because I swear I was the first person to do it. Hernandez, Marcy, and Edwards. Oh, Matt Carpenter? No, it's I don't know if you know this. You know how the Tigers have a player named Kerry Carpenter? Not many people know this, but some more people are starting to figure it out. But his little sister is Sabrina Carpenter. Like the little singer girl. That's Carrie's little sister, for real. I've never once lied. Yeah, and you know what's even crazier? You know the guy who made Halloween, John Carpenter. He's their uncle. And the guy who made The Thing and Halloween and a few other horror movies. Again, I've never once lied in my entire life. They say, damn, Rob must be George Washington reincarnated. And I go, yeah, that's pretty accurate. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Those, I think he's an only child though. I think that's a fake story. Like, you know how like the MLB likes to pretend like Taylor and Tyler Rogers, the pitchers, like those guys are brothers, or like how the media likes to pretend that like John and Jim Harbaugh are brothers because they got the same last name. I only do true ones. Like X Edwards for like the Edwards guy that plays on the Marlins, his brother is Anthony Edwards, the guy who plays in the NBA. And they were adopted by John Edwards, the senator. Look him up. That's their dad. The Pistons win tomorrow. They'll have 60 wins, closing out the regular season for the first time since 2000. Yeah, Pistons are off to a great run. Hopefully they don't blow it in the playoffs. No, Anthony Edwards is the basketball player, I believe. Isn't his last name Edwards? I don't know basketball players that well. If that's not his name, then I fucked my entire joke up. I don't tell jokes or lies. One away on a ground out. Did you know that Kevin McGonagall, his great aunt, is Minerva McGonagall of Hogwarts School in Witchcraft and Wizardry? Real family relation. Both Irish, both with the last name McGonagall, both magic with it. Tell me I'm wrong. Not even the actress. It's like the real Minerva McGonagall that she's based off of. Potentially, yeah, maybe. I don't know. He may not have the wizard genes in the family. Again, you shouldn't fact check me on these things because that's gay. All 2-1. Just make you feel bad if you go and check. Like, yeah, I checked all those things you said. They're all pretty sure they're all lies, dude. I like the last thing I don't even gotta look up. 3-1. That's a ball. So it is 3-1. His wife was in Harry Potter. He in a One Piece content creator. Nice. Pretty cool. Is he British? Because there was only one person who's not British that's in those movies, and it's fucking Christopher Columbus's daughter. Plays some bitch named Hannah that gets put in a Hufflepuff. Well, is his wife British, I suppose? It's like, well, no, his wife's American. His wife's the Christopher Columbus's daughter, the director. Like, oh, well, that's funny. Listen to Prodigy. What's like the song Prodigy? I don't know what that is. Never heard it. Three, 2. Prodigy was cool. I probably heard it. I'm not remembering. Detroit basketball is back. The map feels good. Cade and his boys are going to lead us to a championship in the NBA. Hey, hopefully they do at least get one, so we can have another title. Be pretty cool. And ball 4. Damn it. 1 on, 1 out here in the top of the 7th. We're already in the top of the 7th. This game's cruising by. Yeah, it'll probably be Pistons versus like the Thunder or some shit for the title. Proving that once and for all, tanking in basketball actually does work very well, even if you don't get the number 1 pick all the time. Yeah, it would be the year of Michigan basketball. Pistons win it. Michigan won it. State was supposed to win it. Maybe like CMU can win the NIT or some shit. Maybe. I wasn't really functioning in the 90s. I was like a baby. When the 90s ended, I was 7. So. No, that'll be a ground out. And it got kind of, I think it ate Torque up a little bit. He wasn't able to get it down to first. Plus, the guy at first is fast. So, a runner at second, 2 away. Now up. Ramirez. I'm going to go get a little sody pop real quick. All right. Bottom of the seventh coming up. Tigers get out of that one without allowing any more runs. 5-1. Tigers holding on. McGonigal, Perez, Keith, top of the order for Detroit. We'll see if they do any pinch hitting because of the lefty on the mound. Oh, it's a righty on the mound. Never mind. I'll be right back. I'm going to go have a quick smoke, and then I'll be right back. Where Knicks and Yanks probably won a couple together in the 90s. That's cool. That's true. It looks like good teams one year. Detroit's never had a consistently good year. I guess like 02, 03. Like 04. The era when the Pistons and Red Wings were good at the same time for a little bit. All right, I'll be back in like 2 seconds. All right, what do we got? One away. Ugh. Let me refresh. 0-1 here on Perez. What's up, Darren? Nice to see you. Can't keep up with conversation. Ball one. 1-1 here. Peterson the pitcher, Perez the hitter. It's a 1-1 count. Perez still looking for a hit. Tigers choked bad in 06. But that's the beauty of baseball, isn't it? The hottest team usually can win the World Series over. Neither the Tigers or the fucking Cardinals entered the World Series, like came into the playoffs in a good spot. Except the Cardinals had just gotten like white hot. And the Tigers limped into the playoffs after blowing the division. Just didn't work out for Detroit. That'll be a fly out, 2 away. Their little Cinderella run had come to an end. Wasn't illegal at the time. They didn't ban sticky stuff on baseball until what, 2020? 21? Like 2 years ago? What rule did he break? You gotta tell me what rule he broke. Because I genuinely don't think there was a rule he broke at that point. Hicks, Lopez, Casey. Did he do something frowned upon? Sure. Literally wasn't cheating as there is no rule against it. I feel eventually this will blow up in Dodgers' face, but we'll see. Thank you, Darren. You're always so kind. Precisely why he didn't get suspended for what he did back in the day. Did Mark McGwire ever get suspended for anything? Prior to like 03, 04? Technically, steroids were banned in like the 90s. HGH wasn't banned until 2004. So there is a technical cheating that he was doing if he wasn't just using HGH. Because if it was HGH he was using, then technically, I don't even consider steroids cheating. So you're looking at the wrong guy. There were guys taking the whole league was on steroids, and there were still guys hitting 200 with like 1 home run a season, and they were juiced to the gills. I don't really care about steroids at all. They don't increase your hand-eye coordination. They don't make you a better hitter. You want to know what I consider to be cheating? What Chris Davis did when he was misusing his Adderall. Or like the Legion of Boom. I actually put an asterisk on the Legion of Boom. Actually, they weren't really using steroids. They were using Adderall. But like if there was a Legion of Boom in baseball and they got busted using as much Adderall as the Legion of Boom was, I would consider that one of the greatest cheating teams in MLB history. To me, using steroids in baseball means nothing. Except I want to hit a lot of home runs. It's like, oh well, that's fine. Yeah, cork bats are illegal because one, they're dangerous. Two, they can provide extra distance on the bat swing. Those are cheating. Things like that are cheating. The pitchers using sticky stuff, that's actually to me more cheating than any singular use of steroids, and was a worse scandal. But the MLB learned that you don't go after the players in a scandal like that. You only go after future violators. Want to know why nobody got in big trouble except for people who future violated the sticky stuff rule? Because they learned from the steroid era, don't fucking do that. And they didn't want to ruin the reputation and legacy of 90% of pitchers like they did with hitters for some stupid fucking reason. So they swept it under the rug like they should have did with steroids and only busted people going forward. And that'll be a ground out, 1 away. Nice job by Anderson. He's coming in look pretty good. If you're wondering why that went like that, by the way, with the pitchers, It's a worse scandal than what the hitters did, by the way. It's far worse because the actual thing like that sticky shit added was RPMs to the ball, which is the spins per minute, right? Revolutions per minute. And that actually makes it harder to hit the baseball. And they were adding some shit like fucking 2,000 RPMs to guy like that's why there were so many dog shit pitchers that when they banned that shit, they just sucked and they blew their entire arm out like glass. Now, has he pitched since that? Has he like ever pitched again? The guy for Tampa Bay that like tried to crusade to keep his cheating juice in the MLB, and then he just kind of keeps blowing his elbow out every 5 months, trying to recreate that unbelievable. Cole can still pitch good. He pitched last night. I'm glad he's able to pitch. James Shields was a big violator. I have a theory, by the way. Why good players don't come to Detroit for long periods of time, I think has nothing to do with the Tigers being a cheap organization, because they're clearly not, or not knowing how to sign talent. What happens is players don't like coming to Detroit when there's massive cheating scandals going on, because historically the Tigers do not participate in cheating scandals and will hold players out for cheating. The evidence is that this is my evidence of that. In 2003, that was the worst era of Tigers baseball, was that specific time period, and it coincided directly with the steroid era. And if you look at the Tigers roster of hitters during the steroid era, it was some dog shit like Bobby Higginson, Robert Fick, fucking Craig Monroe, Brandon Inge, Brad Ausmus, like all guys who 100% did not do steroids. It's just, and those were the only kind of guys that would like honest, good, clean players. Meanwhile, like you would never be in contention to get a Bonds or any player like that, because they know that if they go to Detroit, they can't get away with cheating like they can with like 31 other teams or whatever, 29 other teams. So you can't come to Detroit and pull that shit off. Now, once the steroid era came to its end in 2005, 2004 they banned it. 2005 it's kind of over. Suddenly, players start coming back to Detroit because now that cheating's kind of banned, yeah, Detroit's a good place to go play. It's a good, honest place to try to rehabilitate your image. So you see Pudge come in, you see Maglio come in. Maglio never technically cheated, I don't believe. Dingler, Greene, and Carpenter. But you see players start coming to Detroit and deciding to come here after the steroids are banned, because again, Detroit's a cool place to play, rich baseball culture, very nice organization to play for, very honest, very clean organization. Very few cheating scandals, if any, come out of the Detroit Tigers since like the fucking 60s, maybe 50s, even 40s. It's been a while since they were a dirty little organization. They have kind of a weird history like most teams do early on, but I like genuinely one of the cleanest teams, almost no steroid busts. The only ones were Pudge, and I believe after he was listed in those reports, that's when we traded him. We immediately cut Johnny Peralta when he got in trouble. And then fast forward to 2019, you're looking at a very similar Tigers team that was one of the worst teams ever. Now, they were kind of rebuilding. However, nobody was signing with the Tigers. Why? Because if we remember what was happening from like 2017 to 2022, oh yeah, all the pitchers decided collectively to start fucking cheating. By the way, it'll be Dingler, Greene, and Carpenter here in the bottom of the eighth. Tigers hopefully last at bats. Bender's up to pitch. 5-1 Tigers lead still. So nobody comes to a team that everybody wants to like doesn't want to come to a team that doesn't let people cheat. So again, no free agents come to Detroit. Everyone's trying to go to the teams that are cheating and allowing people to cheat because those are going to be the best, most competitive teams. Tigers don't get anybody. They ban it. All of a sudden, Tigers are signing free agents. They're getting players, especially pitchers, to come to Detroit. I'm telling you. And like, how many pitchers from the Tigers were like implicated in the sticky stuff? One, Spencer Turnbull. He's gone now. Isn't that crazy? The one pitcher. By the way, if you go look at the post sticky stuff, all the Tigers pitchers all got better following the banning of the sticky stuff. Like their numbers all in like immediately suddenly are like some of the best in baseball. Isn't that crazy? Skubal literally became like they banned it, and then that season, Skubal turned into Tarek Skubal. Like once he came back from injury. Johnny Peralta is a player that should have just never used steroids because he's a very good defender and was a pretty solid power hitting bat, and a ground out right away from Dingler, 1 away. Yeah, dude, it was bad how much cheating was going on. And I'm telling you, that sticky stuff was far worse than any amount of steroids Barry Bonds could have done. Like, there were dudes throwing pitches. Like, there were, like horrible pitchers that were, like, all-star caliber pitchers for a couple years there. Like, dog shit pitchers were, like, bad, like really like impossible to hit because they could just like because they had big ass hands and they could throw crazy fucking curveballs with that shit on their hands that were impossible to hit. It was just because like they had their fingers spread out to here, like barely holding the ball. I wish I had a ball right here. They'd have like the ball sitting like as spread out as they could for a curveball. They'd have their fingers like the ball barely hanging on by a thread, but like it wouldn't move. So it's at like the very end of the tips, and they like cuff it, and then they'd go like that, and they'd fucking unleash the nastiest curveball you've ever seen. Because again, it's sitting at the end of their fingers, and like the better, like the further you can get the ball away from like the palm of your hand when you're pitching, that's good. That's why having long fingers is really nice for pitching, because again, the further you can have it like right here, like resting right through here, you can get some of the nastiest movement of your life. With pitching like that. Adam Wainwright, yeah, for a while ago. No, there was no issue with Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds didn't do anything wrong. I don't give a shit. Ooh, he took some steroids because everyone else was. Wow. Yeah, it was the steroids that let him hit the one. You know how it's like, yeah, Barry Bonds got one pitch a hit tonight and generally hit a home run off it. It's like, yeah, it was the steroids that did that for him. It's like, yeah, maybe the distance, sure, but it's like he still hit the ball. There were plenty of guys in the minors that never made it to the major leagues that were just as juiced as Barry. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think it's a dumb argument. No, I do think steroids added to home run totals, but I don't think that meant anything. The Giants won what? 0 World Series. Barry never won the World Series. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, it let him cheat all the way to the playoffs, apparently. That's always my argument, by the way. It's like, yeah, Barry was able to cheat 162 games of the regular season, but the second the playoffs started, he wasn't able to cheat. The steroids stopped working in the playoffs. Jesus Christ. Barry Bonds may be one of the single most talented players to ever play baseball. He's like prototypical talent. Annoyingly, people may hate this. Aaron Judge is pretty much a very like 1-to-1 copy of Barry Bonds, except he has a little bit more natural power, and Barry was a little bit better of a fielder. Other than that, pretty much the same guy. I guess Barry maybe a little bit faster, so he stole bases more. However, the way baseball's changed. Back in the 90s, Judge would have stole more bases. I think. Because he's not slow. They just don't run him because they don't want him to get hurt. I see a lot of similarities between Judge and Bonds. Again, there are certain things they do that are a little different from one another. Bonds is a naturally better hitter than Judge. But like Aaron hits like 350. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's like, and they're both playoff choke artists. One on, one out. Yeah, he spent like 10 years in the Pirates or something like that, and then he went to San Francisco for the rest of it. To be like his godfather, Willie McCovey, I believe. Or Willie Mays, it's one of the two. Maybe both of them. I think it's Willie Mays, actually. He's drafted by the Braves. Yeah, Wainwright. Yep. That should be the second out of the inning unless he drops it. No. Yeah, well, Bonds was a shithead, dude. I think the reason Bonds isn't in the Hall of Fame is because he pissed the media off too much. Even though he didn't get into the veterans vote, so I don't know. It might be a steroid stuff that they're not letting him in, but that seems pretty petty. There are steroid guys in the Hall of Fame. Like Pudge is in the Hall of Fame. I don't understand why we're doing this still. I guess his were just accusations, I suppose. Like very credible accusations, but whatever. Runner at first, 2 away, bottom of the 8th. 1-0 count here for Spenny 2 bats, Mr. Torkelson. Hey, throw down a second. Riley Greene just stole the base. You see how far away that defender was from Riley, dude? I'd be so fucking scared of him running down the base at me. I'd be like, I just saw that guy get ran into and a motherfucker died running into him. Look at that second baseman, nowhere near him. That shortstop wanted nothing to do with that big bastard sliding in. Dog, if I was a player around the league, I'd be terrified of what I just saw to Riley Greene. Be like, that guy's like a linebacker. The blew up the ball that was used was blew up the ball that was the lead for home runs with electricity. Oh, okay. I'm just having I don't know. I'm shorting on that for. Yep. Well, that was a wild pitch, and that'll get the runner over to third base now. Runner at third, 2 away, 2-1 count. Just a bit outside. No, I don't remember that at all. 2-2. They blew up the ball that was the lead for home runs. I'm blanking pretty hard on whatever it is we're talking about. I don't know why. Who blew the ball up? I don't know what you're talking, dude. I hate when people say shit like they blew the ball up. I don't. Oh, okay, cool. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude. I've expressed I have no idea what you're talking about, and you're still being vague. Who's they? The Jews? That's usually who they are when people say they. So I'm not really sure who you mean. I don't know who they are. I don't even know what you're talking about. Yeah, man. I've already said I don't know anything about what you're. I don't even think that's like a real. Is that a movie? The Giants. They put a ball in a box and blew it up. Why would Barry doesn't have his home run ball? Why wouldn't he have that ball? He just gave it to him. He's like, nah, you guys can have it. Yeah, it is real. For Barry. You know his real name is Barry Stein. I love when people say that. I mean, technically they can. It's the top 9, 5-1. Tigers lead. Or 6-1 now because Torkelson driving in that run. Tigers go up a run here. It's 6-1. Top 9. Tigers hoping to win the game here. Jim Leyland, yeah, he's an all-time great. Glad he got in the Hall of Fame. Much deserved. Really, he saved my franchise. He came through and fixed the whole fucking thing. It was amazing. Yeah, ripping cigs in the clubhouse. Real fucking cool guy. He's constantly ripping the darts. That shit ruled, dude. Even before I was smoking, I was like, damn, dude, that's cool as shit. He just does whatever he wants. He's got like Snoop Dogg like energy where it's like he can kind of just get away with doing whatever he wants in public. Like anyone else would be in big fuck. It's in 3, but you know, like Snoop Dogg seems to just be able to smoke weed anywhere and it's not a big deal. I'm pretty sure Jim Leyland can just rip darts wherever he feels like with the same kind of impunity. It's a 5-run game. If Anderson can still pitch, put Anderson back out there. Don't use any of the good bullpen. Anderson's been pitching beautifully. Just let his dumbass go the rest of the game. He's a long reliever for a reason. I'd say leave Derek Anderson in there. Or Drew Anderson. Yeah, a lot of old school managers did. They were fiery and passionate about the game. Yeah, Willie's allowed to, but like I'm pretty sure Snoop Dogg, if he was to go meet up with Trump in the Oval Office, like Snoop Dogg would be able to smoke weed in the Oval Office, and nobody would say anything about it. Like nobody would say anything. Yeah, Leland was a catcher for a couple years in the majors. He sucked though. Managers are trying to be too cool nowadays, but like I prefer managers that get ejected. Don Kelly's hilarious for that. And that should be an out. One away. Great job by a great effort here by Drew Anderson. He's been ass all season. This is the guy we signed in the offseason. Jesus Christ. This is what we thought we were getting when we picked this guy out of Korea. We're like, all right, bring him back. Drew, you don't got to learn how to speak Asian anymore, bud. You can come home. Aaron Boone is too, like, he's just not like the right kind of fired up. AJ Hinch lets it fly like once or twice a year, and he instantly gets thrown out of a game. Whenever AJ is hot, it's the funniest fucking thing in the world. What's up, John? Yeah, and the Marlins are a good offense too, so this should be a confidence building series for us. This team is one of the better hitting teams in the league right now. Like everybody had an 800 OPS before they popped into play us. Like listen to some of these numbers that these guys got right now. Well, Marcy isn't doing shit. 946, 660, 878, 886, 873, 777. Right through the middle of the lineup, and we've just been dominating it for 2 days now. Really great effort, too, and it's really encouraging to see Anderson pitching well against good hitting. Yeah, Jim Leland's fire guy. It's funny. Well, you guys had Tony La Russa, to be fair. I don't know. I think it's funny, though, when Hinch gets fired up because he instantly gets ejected, which means he probably says some of the craziest shit ever when he gets ejected because he never gets ejected. Like, he never gets in trouble. And then the second he's mad, though, he gets thrown out within like 3 milliseconds with the umpire. And it's like, what combination of words does AJ Hinch know to instantly get the throw out button? That's hilarious. Yeah, Marlins have a good offense. I mean, they were 8-5 coming into the series, I believe. La Russa was old school as it gets. And probably an alcoholic, but you know. Well, and an alcoholic, but. To be fair, Rick Ankiel fucked his own career up to some extent. Not actually. Never mind. That's not the right way to put that. Rick Ankiel was also simultaneously saved by the Cardinals being super fucking willing to let him switch positions. You know what I mean? Like, not a lot of teams would have been as patient as the Cardinals were with him about changing positions, dude. Like, you have to kind of also remember, did they not draft him as like an outfielder? Well, the whole team fucking felt bad. Like, he sucked. He like sucked dick at hitting. Or he was a good, like, he couldn't pitch. It was one of the two, but he could, like, he couldn't pitch, right? And then he, like, turned into a pretty good outfielder. Is that the story, or is it the other way around? I always get it mixed up. And then he became like a serviceable other side. So it's like yeah, I get that, but like at the same point, like his whole career was basically a gift from like the Cardinals because they're like, we'll let him change. Pitcher turned off. Yeah, that's what it was. That's right. That's right. Yeah, he sucked that pitch. Like he could not pitch at the major league level. It was he couldn't hit or pitch at the level. Like comically bad at it. And then then the Cardinals gracefully let him become in like a different position. He became pretty good at it and had a decent little career. A lot of teams wouldn't have done that with him. Like, and I'm sure Rick wanted to pitch anyway. Yeah, I believe he was an outfielder in college or high school and a pitcher, and he went to pitcher route. Couldn't cut it at the majors, and went back to the outfield. I mean, it's not hard to be a rookie pitcher, especially in the era prior to like tape being like this is a lot easier of an era to figure out rookies and young players because you have a lot more access to tape, a lot more access to like media, a lot more access to like everything, right? Whereas like back in like Rick Aquino's rookie campaign pitching, like he probably was okay because teams weren't super familiar with what he was going to look like. It's similar with why like rookie quarterbacks are so good sometimes, and then they suck their second year because everyone figured it out. Jaden Daniels, for example, this year, CJ Stroud. Well, I'm just letting you know that like it's not the Cardinals' fault his career fell apart. He should have said he can't pitch that day. La Russa would have been cool. And then they fucking gave him a shot to like redefine, like establish himself as a fucking outfielder. Like dog, they did a lot for that guy by the sounds of it. Yeah, because he loves the Cardinals, dude. Like Josh, you're being super critical and saying the Cardinals fucked his career up, but like he probably sees it the complete opposite. He's probably so grateful that they were so patient with him that they were like willing to like let him become a like different position and like let him take up a spot in the minors to do that when they could have had anybody else come through and be like in that developmental spot. No, that was really cool of them. I don't know. Just because they made him pitch in a playoff game when he probably shouldn't, when he probably could have went to his coach and been like, "Coach, I just can't do it." They wouldn't have made him pitch in that game. He probably was like, "Yeah, I'm good to go," and then he clearly wasn't. That's his fault. 3-2. Runner at second. Oh, 2-2 rather. Sorry. Runner went down to second on the last pitch due to runner indifference or pitcher indifference, defensive indifference. It would be like blaming the Rangers for like Josh Hamilton relapsing. You'd be like, well, the fuck, what? Or like the Angels be like, well, actually, to be fair, fucking La Russa was a dickhead. He might have. I don't know. He might have made him. No, I don't know. If anything, then La Russa should have recognized he didn't have it right away. I don't know. It's hard to believe what's true with Tony or not. That just went foul. Whoo. Anyway, 3-2 or 2-2. I don't know. But to be fair, that like the Angels might actually be responsible for Josh Hamilton relapsing. Actually, learning about the Tyler Skaggs thing, you're like, nah, actually, wait a minute. The Angels might actually be might be responsible for that. Kind of looking at that whole situation. You guys remember how fucked up that was? The Tyler Skaggs situation on the Angels. And the slow reveal that it was like a team doctor that killed him. It was just like, what a. Oh, Tyler. Oh, really? Skaggs. Yeah, that's a sad story. Got fed shitty fucking pills from the team doctors and shit like that. 2-2 coming up. Fouled away again, another 2-2. This will be like the 10th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Oh, Dave Duncan. Okay, I got you. Game's just about 2.5 hours. Pretty quick game. We're here in the top of the 9th with 2 away, runner at second. Tigers up 6-1. Tigers have just kind of let Drew Anderson pitch his hearts away. Another foul. It's out of play. Pitch number 11 coming up. Oh, no, that was pitch number 9. Okay, pitch number 10 coming up. Trey Wingo, the sports guy? Like the ESPN sometimes contributor, Trey Wingo? Am I thinking of the right guy? Another foul. 11 pitches we will see here. Little battle here with 2 away. Yeah, he's always like cheering on the Chiefs real hard and talking a lot of shit on everybody else but the Chiefs. Yeah, I see him on Twitter all the time. He's pretty boosted in the sports world, especially in the NFL. Ball 3. He'd go on around the horn and pardon the interruption every so often. He'd be on around the horn quite a bit if I'm not mistaken, Trey Wingo. When like Schlereth or somebody or like Colasol couldn't do it. 12 pitches, I know, JD. I don't remember who that is. He cussed that guy for getting in front of me to take a picture with Joe Torre in 1990. Nice. Good guy. And another pitch. We'll see another 3-2 coming up. 13 pitches. What'll it be? Is that another foul? Yes, it is. We'll have pitch number 14 of the at-bat coming up. 2 down, 3-2 count. 13 pitch at-bat so far. We're about to see pitch number 14. Could this be? Ground ball. Torque handles it, takes it himself to first, and the Tigers take the first 2 of the series. Win the series versus the Marlins. We're back on our winning bullshit. And the Tigers win 6-1 in a pretty solid defensive game. Pretty great pitching effort from everyone involved. Really, the pitching the last 2 days has been phenomenal. Defense has been strong the last 2 days. Drew Anderson cut his ERA from 7.9 all the way down to 4.66. Holy shit. Casey Mize goes 5 2/3, gives up 6 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 1 walk, and 5 Ks. Drew Anderson, of all people, comes in relief, goes 3 1/3, the rest of the game, basically. Gives up 2 walks and 2 strikeouts, cut his ERA almost in half. Tigers improved to 6-9 on the season. Miami falls to 8-7. They're trying to avoid the sweep. Tigers, with the win, are 2 games under 500 tomorrow. That's pretty crazy. What a good day at the plate, too. McGonigal had his 6th double of the year. Keith had his 7th double of the year. Kerry Carpenter had his 1st double of the year. Riley Greene had his 1st homer of the year, a 3-run shot, which gave the Tigers a good chunk of runs. RBIs for Riley Greene. He had 4. He drove in 4 runs. Pretty good day. Keith had an RBI, and so did Torkelson. Tigers only left 2 guys on in scoring position with 2 out. They were 4 for 9 with runners in scoring position. They stole a base. Really great day. McGonigal had a throwing error, but that's all right. Yeah, great job by the Tigers today. Always go Tigers, Jonathan. Yeah, I think I'm going to get out of here, everybody. That's about all I got this afternoon. We'll be live again tomorrow for the Tigers. Just a heads up on the schedule. I can't do Monday's game because I have class till like 9 o'clock. That was on Monday. Oh, there's no there's no game on Monday. Well, never mind. No worries. So we'll be able to do this game on Tuesday. I might be a little late, but we'll be doing this game. Can't do Wednesday. Should be good for Thursday. I don't have anything planned for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday next week, but that could change just depending on everything. So I should be able to do all of them except the Royals. So yeah, cool. I'll be doing the next few games. Cool. Monday is the day off. All right. I'll see y'all tomorrow then. Yeah, enjoyed it. Yeah, enjoyed chatting with everybody. Thank y'all for coming and hanging out. Good thing the Tigers won. Hopefully we can keep it going. Get to 7-9, get closer to 500. That's the goal. Yeah, 6-9. Nice to see you win. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, night, morning, mid-afternoon, whenever. See you later. Peace out. Go Lions. Go Patriots. And, of course, it's always go Tigers, especially when we win and win a series. Let's go for the sweep tomorrow. See